Alright guys, welcome back to the Adam Show. So tonight is game night again. So to start off this video, I just wanted to show off my new centerpiece of my Death Guard army. I've gone for a Land Raider. After the last couple of games, decided the thing that was missing from my army was transport and anti-tank. Looking through the codex, this seems to fulfill both roles. So let's have a look at it here. So I've gone through, put a lot of pustules on him, all this sort of stuff, make him all grossed out, weathering effects, more pustules, las cannons, go around the back, you know, bit more of this and that. Makes a nice centerpiece for the army. What's loadout I've gone for? So obviously, well, it's a chaos one, so I've gone with 2 las cannons, the heavy bolters, but then I had a few points left over, so I've added in a Havoc missile launcher, which I've made removable because tonight I'm playing 1250 points and obviously I had some spare points, so I may as well chuck this on. So that's the new centerpiece of the army. Really happy with how it's come up. Tonight will be its first game and we'll have a look at the rest of the army. Alright guys, and here's the rest of the army that's going to be accompanying the new Land Raider. So, what do we have in it? Comes in at 1249 points, so 1 point short of 1250. So we're upping the points a little bit, building on the army. So leading it today, Lord of Contagion with his scythe, so the cheaper version, so he comes in at, I don't know, 117 points. He's going to be the Warlord, might give him something like disgustingly resilient, revoltingly resilient? I don't know, pretty much gives him a 4 up. And that way, no, 4 up, disgustingly resilient. Yeah, he's pretty solid as it is. I'll just make him more solid. I don't know, he's probably just going to drop in and pester things, or he might even ride in the Land Raider. Second in charge, as always, Malignant Plaguecaster. Love the model, and so far he's been a pretty cool support character in the army. So he's in again. So that's 2 HQ choices. Troops, same again. So we've got 1 10-man unit of Poxwalkers, 2 10-man units of Poxwalkers. Then in the middle we've got a 7-man unit of Plague Marines, 3 plasma guns. So 2 on these guys and 1 on the champion. Then in elites we have the Foul Blight Spawn. Used him last week and he did an absolute number on Pask, so he's probably going to be in every game from now on. He'll be riding along in this Land Raider with these guys here with the plasma, so that'll push him up the field and get him in the fight. They were a bit out of the fight last game, so I want to be able to get him in there, be able to get him to do something, have him protected as well. Fast attack, obviously we've got a fetid plague drone, 2 plague spitters. He's been good every game, haven't had an issue with him so far, so he's stayed in the list. He's fast, he's good anti-infantry, good anti-tank as well. He's just good. I like him. Obviously we've got the Plague Burst Crawler, same again. 2 Plague Spitters, Heavy Stubber, and the Mortar on the back. As you've seen in the last couple of games, I pretty much ram that thing down people's throats and shoot at things and whatnot. It's good fun. I have bought a second one, which will be getting painted up for this list, but that's for another day. So that's in there. And then finally the new addition is the Land Raider. So I feel that it pulls the army together a bit more by giving some range anti-tank, range anti-infantry, and also some transport to get these guys into the fight. I felt last battle they were a bit slow and they weren't really doing much. I also went with the Land Raider 2s because by the time I pieced together how much all the rhinos were and the bits and the bobs and all that, it just seemed like, get a Land Raider, it's got all the guns you want. It just seems to fill that hole in the list. So it's here. Tonight will be its first game. We'll see how it goes. So there's the 1250 points, or 1249 I should say. I'm pretty sure I'm facing off against some Dark Angels. Guy's a bit of a veteran player, so we'll see how he goes. Alright guys, I'll get back to you when I'm at the club. Alright guys, here's me opponent's army. In it, it's got Captain Power Sword Jump Back Plasma Pistol, Librarian with blue energies everywhere, and then 1 2, 3 troops. 2 of them are scouts, 1 of them is an intercessor squad. That makes his battalion. Then over here we've got, can't remember this guy's name, we'll call him an engine seer. We've got 1, 2, 3 elites. Both of these are venerable dreadnoughts with rocket twin layers, and then we've got a Terminator squad, heaps of power fists, a Thunderhammer, cyclone missile launcher, heaps of storm bolters, and then last but not least over here we've got a 5-man unit of hellblasters. These normal hellblasters?
Yeah.
Yep. So this comes in at 1250 points and 9 command points. We'll set up the armies and I'll get back to you. Right guys, so we're all set up. We are playing Season Control. Got a bloat drone, poxwalkers, 2 big tanks, caster. This is full of guys. More poxwalkers here, and there's my base. Over here, we've got Trent stuff. Dreadnought, little engineer. Guys here. Come inside here. He's got scouts in there, and he has scouts in there. Alright, I set up my army first, so we're going to roll off, see who gets the first turn. So I got a +1, I've rolled a 6, so Trent can not beat the 6, so can he seize? No, he cannot seize. Alright, so I'll have my first turn, and I'll get back to you guys. Got Dark Angels versus, I forgot what my army's called. Alright guys, end of Death Guard turn 1. Coming around here, we moved everything forward. Plague drone come over here, spat into these scouts, killed them down to 1. So we come across here, 4 las cannons shot into this dreadnought, took him down to 1 wound, and the rest of the weapons shot into here and killed this scout down to 1. They both passed their leadership check. This moved forward, shot a stubber into those guys, and tried to use the rest of its plague burst shots over onto the dreadnought. Successfully cast -1 to hit here, and these guys didn't pass that. So now we've got Trent's turn 1 coming up. See what the Dark Angels can do. Alright guys, end of Dark Angels turn 1. Trent's manoeuvred these dreadnoughts around to get lines of sight here. He's completely ignored the Land Raider, pumped all his shots into this Plague Burst Crawler, and in doing so has taken it down to its final wound. He killed a couple of these zombies here, and everything else is just positioned. These also fired into it, so it took 2 dreadnoughts and a unit of these to bring it down, but he successfully brought it down, and that's what he wanted to do. Moving over here, scouts are just sneaking around. He's got one sneaking around over here. Alright, I'll have my turn 2, and I'll get back to you. Alright guys, end of Death Guard turn 2. These guys are still sitting here. Everything pressed forward hard across the whole army. So the Land Raider was here, it's moved over here, but before that these guys got out and moved, and the I keep forgetting his name. The guy with the big hose, Death guy, ran over here and he sprayed Death and killed 1 dreadnought. The Land Raider sprayed las cannon Death across here and killed the other dreadnought. Then the rest of the small arms fire took these down to 1. My Lord of Contagion come in over here, but he failed the charge. It was a big charge, so it's not unusual that he failed it. And then I tied up the Hellblasters with this thing here, taking some wounds, but it was worth it to shut down the shooting. And these guys chewed up the last scout, so they got 1 guy back in their unit and they've made their way forward. So we've scored first blood, so we'll get back to Trent's turn 2 and I'll get back to you. Alright guys, end of Dark Angels turn 2. They come down here with these Terminators and run into my Land Raider and taken off 12 wounds with a lot of Thunder Fist action. They shot into these guys and killed a few of them. We got tied up combat over here where he ran into my stench and didn't do anything. And then over here we've got these guys cornered. We'll see what we can do. Get back to you at the end of my next turn.
DD3.
Right, so the end of my turn 3. So over here we obliterated the Hellblasters and we've taken his base, and we're getting around here. Over here these guys retreated out and have started coming this way, and I left a foul blight spawn to fight here. We also nuked that last intercessor sergeant with these death spitters before charging in. over here we tied up the Terminators by running in with a heap of zombies and this malignant plague caster, but I also got my head reasonably punched in. So that's about all that happened, and obviously we backed this out away from those. So now we'll just go on to Trent's turn 3. Alright.
How many wounds I got? 2, right?
That has 4 wounds left because it's a Land Raider.
Oh, 4 wounds.
Comes with 16, mate. Alright. Get back to you after Trent's turn 3. Alright guys, so Terminator's here. Beat the shit out of the Poxwalkers. Who saw that coming? He's managed to charge over here and jump into my guys here and do a bit of damage. He killed a guy. Yeah, he killed a guy. And then over here, these guys are just duking it out, just not doing anything to each other. And these guys in Miami just sitting over here on his base, and the Land Raiders still backed out over here. Trent just left it alone because he doesn't have firepower to deal with it, so it's not worth it. So I'll have my turn 4, and we will get back to you and see what happens. Alright guys, end of my turn 4. So the las cannon shot everything across here to these guys, but needs 5s to hit, so I didn't do a lot of damage. I wounded one guy with a heavy boulder round. Over here, I got beat up in combat by these 2 commanders. That makes sense though. So I passed my leadership though, which was good. Then over here, I've charged in here and taken some little bit more damage off this invincible tech marine. I'm convinced he's invincible. Alright, so over here, still holding the objective. Trent's still sneaking around here. And I guess he'll have his turn 4, and then we'll see what happens. Alright. Alright guys, end of Trent's Dark Angels turn 4. These guys moved up, shooting nothing and doing nothing. Over here, the combined power of the Scout and this Librarian who smited himself down to 1 wound. So he's he's a bit unhealthy at the moment. And they killed the zombies here. So my home objective is unguarded. Over here, he cut his way through these guys and ran into this guy. Didn't do any damage, and I tried to hit him back, didn't do anything. In combat, I finally chomped through his stupid tech marine of death. So I'll have my turn 5, and we will see what happens. Death to the false emperor. Alright guys, end of my turn 5. Land Raider, shot across here, did not a thing. Hitting on fires seems to hamper it. Over here, we tried to plague spitter this guy to death. We only rolled a 2. It's always the way at the end of the game. Jumped in, didn't do any damage. This guy's jumped out of combat. Trent's got a few things going on here. Let's see what he does. We'll move on to his turn 5 and we'll see what happens after that. Alright guys, Trent's had his turn 5. So in here, the combined effort of the Librarian, the Captain, and these guys all chopping into my bloat drone. They chopped into him, but he blew up. He took the Librarian with him, he took a Terminator with him, and he wounded the Captain. The Captain's now 1 wound. So, now, I suppose we've both had our turn 5, so this is where Trent rolls a dice to see if the game ends. Roll it for me here, mate.
Do you mean turn 4?
It's turn 5.
Was it? Did we have turn 5, did we?
Yeah, that was the end of your turn 5.
I thought that was the end of your turn. It was the end of your turn 4 before, and this is the end of my turn 4.
No, that was the end of my turn 5.
Oh, well. What is it we need to roll?
1 or a 2. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the game. Which means that we have a Death Guard victory by 1 point. First blood.
Yes, you have Line Breaker.
We both have Line Breaker. You got Line Breaker here. Got Line Breaker there. That's also my Warlord. That's your Warlord. My Warlord's on 2 wounds. Your Warlord's on 1 wound. And this tank's... Well, it doesn't even really matter.
This is unacceptable. We need a showdown.
Alright, so the Death Guard have won. But just for the hell of it, we'll put these guys in here. Because
they're going to meet together in the middle.
Trent wants a showdown. So I got 2 wounds. So I guess we don't know who charged, so we'll roll a dice to see who goes first.
Charge? I would have moved to 12 and charged him.
Alright, I'll let you have the charge, even because I've won the game, and roll these dice here for us, and let's see if you could have killed my guy before getting smited. Right, re-roll those ones for us. So they're all hits. Now I'm tough 5, so you need 3s because you've got that strength 6 sword. Alright, so 5. So over here I've got my 5 dice. Alright then, so I need 4 ups. So I got 1 4 up, 2 4 ups. So 3 go through. So you do D3, so you may as well just do them all together, and then I'll do me disgustingly resilient. Is that what you rolled?
And now I roll to see how many each D3.
So we got 1, 2, 5. Alright, so I roll my 5 disgustingly resilience, but I'm revoltingly resilient, so 4 up. Got 2 wounds left, come on. And Trent's managed to kill me. There you go, because I'm Nurgle, I should explode. No. Oh, I rolled a 6.
That's a 6,
Just
yeah.
pop. Alright guys, if you like this channel, like and subscribe. You got anything you want to say about the battle, Trent?
I thought I was screwed early, but then I really came back, and if it had gone one more turn, I would have won.
Yep, could have been. Could have been. Alright, like I said, if you like this channel, like and subscribe, and we'll get back to you with some more reports and more whatevers. Have a good evening.